Well, good evening, Blue Troopers, and welcome back to the TARDIS. I'm having to shout at the camera because my lavalier mic croaked on me. I don't know. It seems to work fine on the cell phone. I don't know what happened with it, but it's when I switch it to camera mode, I put in a fresh battery that works, and nothing. It's that maybe the switch broke, and of course, micro technology. There's no way I'm getting in to fix it. I've troubleshot it several times, but I'll go test it on some other stuff. It works fine on the phone in telephone mode, but the phone doesn't actually require a battery. The camera does, and like I say, fresh battery. Well, anyway. So, you just have to hear me shout across the room. So, what did I get done today? Well, grocery shopping. Oh. And then got out here. I did start working on the next viewer build because so many pictures have come in, already got started. And I'm sure more will show up. I just did one segment. I'll be doing more. I'm not rushing this because it's a while before we're going to get the next one out. And I'm sure plenty more pictures will show up. So, I did a little work on the Jaguar. The primer coat showed, of course, all the blemishes where I thought I'd sealed stuff up and hadn't. So, I sanded it down, a little more putty, and then once it was reprimed, I went ahead and shot the dark gray, which is the base coat. Of course, the underside, the primer is actually the correct color, more or less, for the light gray underside, so I'll probably just use that. And but I had to be careful because the only correct dark gray I had was an enamel. So I've got the enamel over the acrylic. So far it seems to be doing okay. No issues so far, but I'm going to give that overnight to harden before I even touch it again. Had some issues with the manned maneuvering unit astronaut. I realized after I'd primed it, you could still see that seam across the helmet, so it was sand buff, sand buff, sand buff. And it's looking pretty good now. I think I've got that seam pretty much disappeared. We disappeared it, boss! I got a little work on the Tornado done, got the pilots removed, got the tail mounted, so probably get cracking on that. I'm probably just going to go ahead and make it the box colors. But within the Jaguar, I think I'm going to pose them without any ordnance. Just look at the airplane up on a stand. Then the GB got a little more primer coat on that so that it'll pretty soon be ready to start painting. And on the B-25, I did a lot of that just because I wanted to avoid having to mask off the B-25. But I went ahead and got cracking, used my Tamiya tape, got the B-25 masked off and coated with clear coat. Now I have the nose glazing mounted to the section. Of course, as soon as I did it, tink, I've got the acrylic sealant glue, the white stuff on there, and I look at it, and sure enough, I'd managed to knock the 30 caliber machine gun out of the bombardier's hands. So I had to real quick glue that back and get everything back in. And he's just supposed to be carrying it into the nose section, so how he's posed with it isn't critical. But I was like, you literally have wet glue in your hand, and tink, uh-oh. And I got once I had the cockpit section masked off, I started to mount it on the airplane, or just to test fit it. And of course, despite all the test fittings where it fit fine, now it doesn't fit. It's a little too wide. And it appears that the pilot's seat back was just far enough over it was pushing on it. The only thing I do was just break off the seat back and glue it into another position very carefully. That's been done. And now it sits, it'll seat properly. But I just clear coated it so it's off to the side, hardening. And but just another adventure in modeling. It's all over here. I'm like, okay, you've kind of done what you do. Everything's wet now, or the glues are hardening, the paints are hardening. You know what? It's time just to shoot your evening video, say thanks to the nice people for watching, and then the microphone doesn't work. I spent a while trying to troubleshoot that audio. I got a feeling these electronic devices only last so long. This microphone's a couple of years old. It was a good one. It wasn't cheap. It was about $60. But, you just write off the cost of doing business. I'll keep playing with it, see if I can get it to work. It seems to work on the cell phone, so it's not like, oh, we'll throw it away. I'll probably just take it into the house and start using it on my morning videos, which I usually shoot on the cell phone. A lot of you guys have complained that the sound on the morning videos wasn't very good, so if I take it in, and the other thing I can do, which I used to do when I was using my big camera out here, before I had this video camera, was I would actually record the audio with the cell phone and the lavalier mic, and then I would just clap my hands as a sound sync. That's what they do in the movies. You know, ready, action, okay, okay, sound sync, beep, you know, and then action. That calls the movie and the soundtrack are completely two different systems. That's how they sync it up. So I would just do that. I would have an audio track and a video track, and I would sync them. And I can go back to doing that, I suppose. Not the end of the world. And I hate to say it, but the cell phone, that lavalier mic and the cell phone really have excellent quality. You know what? As long as I've got them here, let's do a quick demo. Okay. Here's the microphone. Just clip that in my collar. Go all Sally Trailer Park here. Well, I said, officer, I told him. Okay, let's. Now I'm going to video me videoing you. Or, no, I'm going to. Okay, now. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to dub in. I'm going to do 2 5 counts, and one of them will be with the what you're hearing right now first, and then I'll dub what's in the cell phone over it. Make sure, hold on, make sure I get it on camera. I mean, cell phone, smartphone. It's got a switch here for them. Okay, it's on smartphone now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I forgot to do the sound sync. Okay, hold on. Okay, I just snapped my fingers. Okay, that should work. Camera, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cell phone audio, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll see how that works out. And now that I've made life much harder on myself than it needs to be, guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and as always, Model on.